We just got to get through these 4 Christmases as quickly and as painlessly as possible.
Merry Christmas, Mom.
Hi, Dad.
Good to see you, Mom. Merry Christmas, Dad. Kate, these are my brothers, Denver and Dallas.
You must be Orlando's girl.
Orlando?
We're all named after the cities that we were conceived in.
That's disgusting.
Reese Witherspoon, welcome to Backstage. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you've got a new movie coming out called 4 Christmases that you're working with Vince Vaughn, and you play kind of a couple that are dealing with some interesting relatives that kind of cause some issues for you as you're going through Christmas. How much fun was this project to work on?
It was so much fun. I've been a big fan of Vince's for a long time, so it was a great opportunity to work with him. I think he's so funny. And it turned out he was just as creative and talented as I thought he was. So,
Brad, I'm just hoping for a chance to be your friend.
You were my friend, Daryl. You were my best friend. We grew up together. We rode bikes together. We used to smell each other's hands. But now you're sleeping with my mom, and it's a little bit weird for me. Can you appreciate that?
Throughout this film, you kind of learn a lot about your relatives, but also a lot about yourselves. Tell me a bit about that.
yeah, I mean, we're a couple who decide we're never going to have kids, we're never going to get married, and we always avoid our families. We go away for the holidays, don't stress ourselves out, and then, you know, through a series of circumstances, we end up having to go to all 4 family Christmases because both of our parents are divorced. So through that process, we kind of realized we didn't really know each other all that well.
I cannot believe you did not tell me your real name.
What are you talking about?
It's just crazy to me. We've been together for 3 years and I don't even know your real name. Doesn't that strike you as a little bit odd?
No, that doesn't strike me as a little bit odd. I hated my name, so I changed it. Go ahead and take a shot at me. It's bad enough I have to deal with those Neanderthals, but now I got to take it from you, too.
No, you shouldn't.
Not every particular family gets along around Christmas time. There's a little family dysfunction, I guess, in everybody's family.
My brothers, they're trained UFC fighters. Soldier boy! Soldier boy!
You're a sissy.
Do you think a lot of people will relate to some of the things you touch on in this film?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's, you know, all kinds of crazy relatives that ask really invasive questions and embarrass you. So I think pretty much everyone can relate.
That's you?
Mom, did you put that on the mantle? I love that photo.
You look huge.
I ate my feelings, Brad.
She must have had a lot of bad feelings.
I heard that when you were working on this film, you had a couple of scenes where you had to deal with sort of inflatable castles or something like this, and you're not really a big fan of those.
Jump, jump! You left me in the jump to die.
I thought you were waving at me like, hey, I'm getting past my fears.
It was a long, arduous scene to get, and there was lots of kids on it, and they're all jumping around, and one day one of the kids got really sick and threw up all over the jump, but the show had to go on, and so all sorts of things happened out there, and I have to say it's not my favorite thing.
In the 5th grade, a bunch of kids trapped Kate inside the jump, and she never got over it.
I got over it.
Your children are very special to you, so as a mom, what does Christmas mean to you in terms of, you know, sharing that time with your kids?
Well, I think it's a really important time, but, you know, to remind your children about gratitude and being grateful for all the things they have in their lives, their health, you know, their friends, their family, things like that.
You've had a wonderful film career. You first made the scene big time as playing Elle Woods in Legally Blonde.
I worked so hard to get into law school. I blew off Greek to study for the LSATs. I even hired a couple to direct my admissions video.
Then after that, you also won an Oscar for playing June Carter Cash in Walk the Line.
Where's my friend John? Did he get high? Or is he incognito? Is he gone? Because I don't like this guy Cash.
I ain't incognito. I'm right here.
What has been the most gratifying part of your career, besides, of course, you know, the awards and the financial part of it?
I just love being an actor. I like being on set. I like working with other actors. So that's when I'm happiest. You know, that's the easiest part for me. It's also the most fun. So I just feel really lucky I get to do something I really love.
When you were preparing for that role as June Carter Cash, it was a role that you were kind of ambivalent about at first because of all the singing that had to go into it, right?
Yeah, I wasn't ambivalent. I was terrified because I'm not a singer. I tried to do it a little bit when I was younger because I always wanted to be on Broadway and sing, and they told me that I wasn't very good, so I just gave it up. And then when I got the part, they told me I had to sing. So needless to say, I was really nervous.
A cake's no good if you don't mix the batter and bake it.
And love's just a bubble if you don't take the trouble to make
There's been a few of your roles where you've brought your traditional Southern values into play. I mean, you were in Sweet Home Alabama, and I read once where you said that those values that you bring from your Southern upbringing sort of taught you to not take things for granted. How has that really carried through your life?
Well, I think, it's important to take stock of your life every day and whether you pray or meditate or whatever, just think about those things that you're grateful for. And I try to do that every day, and I try to have my children do it every day because, life goes really fast, and you have to kind of take stock every moment and make sure you appreciate it.
I have to imagine that upbringing that you value so very much really has helped you through sort of the ups and downs and the pitfalls of dealing with Hollywood, hasn't it?
Well, certainly it's nice to know that you can always go home and your family loves you no matter what. So, yeah, and I feel like an outsider kind of in Hollywood. I came from Tennessee, and I have sort of a different perspective on movies and things people want to see.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. The new movie is called, of course, Four Christmases, a great film for the holidays. And Reese, I want to thank you for joining us here on Backstage.
Thank you so much, Tim.